I mean, have done that. So let me say this to you, Mr. Connelly. It's good to let your lawyer represent you. Because if you try to represent yourself right now, you might be on your way to jail. Case number 205619101, the People versus Christopher Connelly. Defendant is charged with license plate illegal use. Today is the date set for a review.
Rakedia Hall on behalf of Christopher Connelly. Sir, may you state your first, middle, and last name for the record?
Christopher Deshaun Connelly.
Hey, Ms. Hall, how long we gonna do this?
Your Honor, according to Mr. Connelly, he has
I need to brace myself. I need to brace myself and tie myself down to the chair.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let me brace myself. Let me tie myself down to the chair. Because I am live streaming. Let me brace myself, tie myself down to the chair, and get ready for this excuse. I'm gonna say my little poem, and then I'm gonna hear your report. Excuses are the tools of what? The weak and incompetent. I didn't write this poem. This is what they taught me when I was pledging. Those who use excuses build bridges to nowhere and monuments of nothingness. And then I revised it and said that the excuses, when you come to court, they might build bridges to the Wayne County Jail. Okay, I'm ready, Ms. Hall. According to Mr. Connelly, what happened in 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24? What happened? Why he couldn't do this probation on illegal license plate case? Go ahead, Ms.
So Mr. Connelly indicated that over the years, he had been not only trying to reach the probation department by phone, but he also went in person to the probation department multiple times. And he has been told on multiple occasions that he was not on probation. He indicates that he has reached out to probation officer Bradfield multiple times and has not received a response back.
So when he came in person, I'm sorry, because I like to gain understanding.
Yes, Your Honor. When
he came in person and he was told he was not on probation, what made him then try to reach out to Mr. Bradfield? What made him?
This was not necessarily done in the order that I am explaining it. So, I'm just saying that he indicates that he's tried multiple methods of trying to get in contact with his probation officer, with the probation department, but he was told that he's not on probation. I did indicate to him that since it is his responsibility and he knows that he was placed on probation, that he should have then come to the courtroom or contacted his attorney.
Oh, because I'm so glad you had said that, because I was gonna say, Mr. Flanagan.
Yes, Your Honor.
How long you been my clerk? The baby is how old now?
17 months.
Oh, so you've been my clerk at least 17 months, because you came and then the baby was born like right after that. In 17 months, have you seen Mr. Connelly in the courtroom?
No, Your Honor.
Oh, he didn't come see you? He must.
To my knowledge, Your Honor, I don't recall ever seeing him in the courtroom.
Let me ask you a question. If somebody had come to you in the courtroom about their probation, just hypothetically, what would you have done? What would you have done?
Direct them to 317, the probation department.
And then would you have told them who their probation officer was?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, I apologize. Ms. Hall, please excuse my interruption for these excuses that you've given me that do not make any sense, that are not true. Go ahead.
So, Your Honor, he indicated that the last time that he came to the court was this past week on December 9th or 10th. And he was again told that he is not on probation.
Okay.
We did discuss. Kindly, did I state something inaccurately?
No, I just had a question. I wanted to know, is that the probation that's inside the 36 at the top floor?
See what I'm saying? He probably shouldn't speak, because we're not on no top probation, not on top floor.
I was just asking a question. I
know you just asked a question, but I'm not the question answerer. So here's what's going on. We're on the record. And so the record, that's a question that you should have asked your lawyer. But the thing about your question is that it lets me know that you did not go to probation. The thing about your question tells me that you didn't go to probation, because probation is not on the top floor. So saying that you've come down here year after year or month after month and you went to probation and somebody in probation told you that you were not on probation, and then you asking me about probation being on the top floor, there are a couple of things about that. One, probation is not on the top floor. Two, nobody on the top floor, no one on the top floor would have looked up your case and told you that you were not on probation. There's not an office on the top floor that would have done that. So let me say this to you, Mr. Connelly. It's good to let your lawyer represent you. Because if you try to represent yourself right now, you might be on your way to jail. So it's probably a good thing to let your lawyer represent you. You know, I don't want to put Mr. Connelly in jail for this case. I do not. Couple of things going on though. The case is old. I don't even know if I still have jurisdiction over Mr. Connelly. But we're gonna find out. And then all of this right here. You're going in the wrong direction, Mr. Connelly. You have 3 warrants for your arrest in Farmington Hills. You have cases pending in circuit court. And all I'm going to tell you is they got a pretty new jail over there that they just made. When the jailers come over there, I see they got carpet down and accent walls. Now, let me tell you who you think they're trying to make it comfortable for. They're not trying to make it comfortable for the workers. They're trying to make it comfortable for you. And that's probably some advocacy. That's probably some silly, some advocacy. I didn't mean to say silly, for somebody who is wanting you to think they have your best interests at heart. When what they should be advocating is for something else that's going to keep you out of jail. But nonetheless, you're going the wrong direction, sir. And then you're coming in here making up this stuff. Now, probation has never been on the top floor. But I'm willing to get the sign-in sheets if you want me to. Because I would also indicate that if one of the clerks, who I believe do a wonderful job, I haven't heard anything about them. Now, I'm not over in probation. I'm not the supervisor. Mr. Farmer is. But I can imagine that if he finds out that his clerks are looking up cases, people walking in and his clerks are looking up cases and then telling the people that they're not on probation, I'm certain that Mr. Farmer would have to handle that situation. And in doing so, he would look up and see, well, the person came in at this time. And then you know what we would also be able to look up? Because what they wouldn't want to do is simply fire or discipline someone without doing a proper investigation. He would need to call IT. IT would go in that computer system that's sitting right on that desk in that front part right there when you go in. And IT would say, well, Mr. Connelly signed in at this time. And at this time, somebody sitting at this computer looked up his case. Oh, we would be able to find it out. And so then whoever looked up his case must not know how to read. Because if you looked up the case at the top of the register of action, it says probation right there up in the upper right-hand corner when you pull up your case. So whoever pulled this up, they don't know how to read. Whoever pulled it up must not be lien certified, and they shouldn't be in the system pulling up the register of action. So the thing about it is when you come on here and make up stuff, you're getting somebody else in trouble. And if you're not making it up, let's go the extra mile. I am the go the extra mile type of judge, because what I don't want people giving misinformation. I don't want clerks giving legal advice, but I also don't want you slacking on what you're supposed to do and then blaming it on somebody else. This case is not a serious case. I'm telling you the truth. Of all the cases I have on my docket, this is probably one of the least serious cases. But now I got Mr. Farmer on here taking up his time, because you said you've been coming to probation since 2021 and that they keep telling you that you don't have a case. I mean, you're not on probation. And that's bewildering to me. That's baffling to me, Mr. Connelly. And Mr. Farmer has been an outstanding supervisor who used to be a probation officer and used to be a probation officer on this very docket. And so he can understand exactly the information that I would need from him. All right, Mr. Farmer, I appreciate you showing up as you always do, even though I still tell you your background be making us nervous. I be nervous thinking I'm in trouble when you come on there with all them flags and stuff. But we're gonna direct Mr. Connelly to the right place, and then if Mr. Bradfield is not responsive to you, Mr. Connelly, you're gonna ask for Supervisor Farmer. You're gonna go to probation, which is not on the top floor. It's right across the hall from my courtroom. You're going to go to probation. You're going to say, I need to see Supervisor Derek Farmer because I'm trying to tell the judge that Mr. Bradfield is not responsive to me. And so now I need to come and see the supervisor. But let me tell you who I know is not going to ever give you information about your case. Them two clerks that's sitting at that desk. That's not even their job or responsibility. So let's do better. You have $12,953 that you owe to the 36th District Court. And the good thing for you is that those same people that's advocating out there for things that I think maybe they should advocate for something different, they advocated to finally, I think, stop you all from having to go to jail for owing $13,000 to the court. And they called it a debtor's court. And then the court has to do some type of an assessment before they put you in jail. They have to do an assessment before they put you in jail. They could still put you in jail. They need to do an assessment. Life is hard enough as it is. I can't even imagine owing a court $12,000. Also, it's a shift and change in the atmosphere. It's a shift coming. There's a shift coming that everybody voted for in November. Now there's a shift coming in January. You keep messing around if you want to. You can keep on. You can keep on messing around if you want to. And they're gonna build prisons and walls. Prisons and walls. That's gonna be the goal. Prisons and walls. So you can keep on a license plate case. On a license plate case. Okay. So we're going to assume at this moment that I still have jurisdiction over Mr. Connelly, and we're going to give him an opportunity not to go to jail. All right, Ms. Hall, are we ready to go back on for Mr. Connelly?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So with respect to this case, the court is going to continue Mr. Connelly on probation, but Mr. Connelly, you're going to have to get it together. Your progress is unacceptable. You continuing to drive without licenses is unacceptable. And then this other case, I don't know. So you need to contact your lawyer, Mr. Collins, unless defense is going to, I don't know.
We just spoke with him. I just spoke with him, Your Honor. He's going to get him rescheduled for sentencing. He was not sentenced.
Right, and you failed to appear. So I know that's what it sounded like, but I'm not trying to be in circuit court business. All right, so that'll get rescheduled for sentencing. I'm going to continue this to March. If you come back in March, hear me clearly, Mr. Connelly. Now, I don't know what's going to happen now with that sentencing. But if you come back to me in March with this same story, I'm just revoking the probation. And you're going to be the first person I'm sending to jail on the license plate case. Because this is ridiculous.
I want to make sure I get it taken care of.
I hope you do. So you got Mr. Bradfield's phone number. They're going to give you well, you don't even need Mr. Farmer's phone number. Because if you can't reach Mr. Bradfield, just come down here in person and ask for Mr. Farmer.
Okay. We're
going to continue this to March the 21st. 10 o'clock. Mr. Flanagan, send him a notice to appear because he got all them papers and stuff with mixing up his court dates.
Yes, Your Honor.
Send him a notice to appear. Mr. Connelly, I can only help you so much. Then you have to help yourself.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate
All right,
it.
you're welcome. And you got to get on a payment plan for all those tickets, but the down payment is going to be too much. So I don't even know what to say about that. All right.